Different, don't get bad. High difference of my winning. Show do good knives I swing. Yeah, I got knife vision. It doesn't make sense to me, dude.
Sean here, and I was going to let it go, but Chance is out there again saying he lost everything he never had. Anyone that's ever been in his life has been just out of arm's reach emotionally because you don't touch the poop. And if you step close enough, the poop will touch you, and that is the danger of Cyraxx. Cyraxx talks about losing himself. He has no idea what that means. He had a girlfriend named Kira who was apparently the love of his life, who he would trash and talk down to, and he left her. He's talking about her again, about how he just misses, it's just so ruined, and I wish I could get back to it. But he doesn't mention his dream boyfriend Callum in this one as much. I don't think so. But it made me angry to hear him talk about losing themselves. And you heard how frustrated I got when I talked about PTSD. Losing yourself, Chance, it doesn't take much. This is an extreme example, and it's more about exhaustion, and because life can exhaust you mentally, but this is like extreme. I went to boot camp, took an interview in MEPS. They ask you a bunch of questions. They keep you up for like 48 hours to 72 hours, something stupid. I was hallucinating. We had zero sleep, and I was thinking that the Marine mascot was like the maroon dragon because it was the Don't even ask. I was practically hallucinating. But I lost myself in boot camp because they take it away from you. You are not me. I'm not me. I'm recruit. And that became my identity. And man, for a year or two after getting out of boot camp, I was still doing the behaviors that they had me doing in there. Chance, that's what it's like to be overwritten. That's what it's like to lose your identity and take on another one. You are not some victim. You are the cause. Chance, you didn't lose yourself. You lost the opportunity to be who you wanted to be. You caused all of the drama yourself. I went back and watched the video just picked a random video. Sally told you to get off the internet while you were yelling at Marty. You told her that yelling at Marty was more important than getting sleep. She unplugged the internet. You went back downstairs, plugged it in, and got back online and started screaming at Marty again. Marty didn't make you do that. You did it. You need that. You know you are a terrible person, and you have adopted this brand new... Listen to the way I'm talking. I'm so much better than the trolls. Chance, the only thing you have changed is the tone of your voice. Cyraxx is the same psychotic little goblin we have all known this entire time. And telling everyone that he would be there for him is just nuts. Because he would never be there for anyone. Because when he was getting arrested, he was crying and screaming and begging and pleading. When he was fighting Marty, he was crying and screaming and begging and pleading. And even then, he came back and said he won the fight. Well, I showed up, I showed out, I showed up. Like it was some big thing. Chance is the guy that if you needed help moving, he'd come over, sit in your living room and eat pizza while everyone else did all the work. And then when it was over, he's like, yeah, we all gonna go get pizza after this or what? Man, I'm hungry. That's Chancey Poo. That's his help. He would never leave his house unless he could get something out of it. His whole family is full of nothing but scam artists. They scammed the guy out of the Xbox. Chance has lied. He's done everything under the sun. Chased everyone away. And he's complaining about losing it all. And I'm only making this rant video because the goblin thinks that he's pulled one over on everyone. He's mentioned church a few times, which means he's probably watched a couple Joel Osteen videos on YouTube. And it's not that God doesn't want you to succeed. He wants you to succeed when the time is right. I just made that up, but that's basically all he says. And Cyraxx probably heard that, and now he's Jesus, man. He's out there walking around healing people. And it's only a matter of time before we hear about that, by the way. If he has gone to church or picked up religion, he's going to be some prophet. He's going to be healing his grandmother's fever that she had. It's coming. It's coming. I'm calling it now. But some of us have experienced real loss. We've lost friends that were in their prime, in the prime of their life. 3 or 4 of them in the span of 4 years. Both parents, all my grandparents, my uncles, my aunts, cousins. Cyraxx, that's loss. You're not close enough to anyone to feel loss. You don't really lose anything because you've never had it. And I think what most of us are so tired of is listening to this little goblin claim that he's a victim when he is not. He victimizes people. And when those victims go away, he feels lost because he no longer has access to those people. I will never forget Taylor, I just want you to know I love you so much. I just want to tell you, I want you and our children and all this insanity because he wanted a racing rig, whether he wants to admit it or not. Then he felt lost because something was being lost, not someone. Chance, the opportunity to have sex for you is gone unless someone comes to your house immobile and Sally's like, Chance, you're bothering me. Just take the body and go upstairs. The best thing they could do for you is save up, have Ed go scrap, turn in cans for about 2 years, get one of those realistic sex dolls, put it in your room, lock the door about every other day, drop in a thing of lube, and just leave. You'd wear it out in a year, and if you weren't dead from bacteria in 6 months, it would be a miracle. You don't want anyone or anything that doesn't make you feel like you've gotten something, like you've taken hold of somebody. You wanted so bad for Marty to just give in and say, you're right, Cyraxx. You're right, you got me. You needed that so bad because you want to feel powerful. And I think I can understand that a little bit because you're a little weakling, weak-minded, no soul little goblin who's constantly putting himself in positions, no pun intended, security Jake, in positions and in situations where they're going to get steamrolled. We have all seen him just corner himself and then just lash out and go crazy. Hey Marty, keep hitting the unmute button. Hey N-word lover, hey Marty, I'm going to come and do this to your family. I'm going to do this and your kids. And it's shocking. It's over the top. Without Marty, Cyraxx is lost. So now he is trying, and this is my opinion, he is trying to be Marty. He is trying to be the grown-up, the adult. But when Sally comes up and starts yelling at him and screaming at him, Chance, knock it off. No, I'm not going to knock it off. He's the same goblin. He's just tired. And I think it's dawning on him that he will never have anything to lose, ever. He's lost nothing. He will never lose anything. The one time, I don't know his whole history because I think everything we've been told is probably a half-truth about his mother dying in a fire and the reason, and the dad, and it's just this bizarre, not even his origin story is normal. His origin story, you can't even determine what the truth is in it, other than the maybe cause of death. But he wasn't even old enough, I don't think, to appreciate that loss. I was adopted. I told you I have a chip on my shoulder. I always have. I always felt like I had something to prove to the world when I really don't. But it's just something apparently that's common. Chance lost his parents. I thought maybe he was going around, damn it, if he hears this is going to be his new excuse. You know, I've just been trying to make up for it my whole life. I feel like I got a chip on my shoulder, you know. He already stole the my guy from me. So, I know you listen to my videos, Chance, and what you used to say to everybody, sit and rotate. He's lost his Xbox, which is not really, it's a piece of equipment. His laptop, I believe they stole an Xbox from Heather, or whoever it was living at the house, and then they scammed a guy out of an Xbox, and both of those got bricked, and then somebody... It was like a genius piece of work, and I was watching Smokey MC, and when they bricked the Xbox, they showed the crowd cheering. It was wonderful, like, and he just goes crazy. Chance with superpowers would be like Homelander, but 10 times worse. Just snatching up women off the street, just wrecking people left and right. And then when the world is destroyed, he'd blame all of the people for making him do that. I just can't stand the fact that this little goblin feels empowered, and he's back, and he's still saying the same things, and he's shown no progress. He's done nothing. The only thing that will save him is that he has to get into some normalcy roleplay scenario where he has to keep going. And Styled Moth, forgive me, had a brain fart. Styled Moth said something like Pavlov's dogs. You know, you have to just like train them brutally to get him where he needs to go. I don't think he would make it a second in boot camp. The first time they started yelling at him and he had to hobble off the stairs and get in line, and the drill instructors are surrounding you, screaming at you while you're still in your civilian clothes and you haven't even gotten your haircut yet. I think Chance would make it a second before he'd start crying, "Where's my mom? I don't want to do this." Oh my God. It was culture shock. Anyway, Styled Moth was right. The normalcy therapy, Chance, there was somebody else in there. I don't know if they really worked at a state care facility up north, but they said what I thought: there is no fixing you. At this point, a couple of people brought up lobotomy. The bottom line is, Chance has never had anyone to lose. You know, like Lauren, got so much to lose. Water the homeless. You guys know the story, right? The whole garbage story he spews. If I asked Chance to list things of value in his life, do you think Sally and Ed would be on that list? The people who house him and feed him and clothe him? They should be number one, right at the top. He would put my LLC, my Chromebook. I think that's what he has. Chromebook, you know, my guitar, my... Chance, we were talking about the most valuable things in that house, and we were expecting you to put Sally and Ed, but you ended up putting stuff you can't play, so obviously you don't appreciate them. He's never had anyone because he doesn't appreciate anything. He can never appreciate anything because he's never had anyone to appreciate. There was nothing to attract. The only thing that this walking pile of feces attracts is flies and bugs. That's it. You know, the whole honey, attract more bees with honey, all that crap. Well, Chance is never going to have to worry about that. The closest he'll ever be is if he was honey that someone shat out, and then that would be it. And he would attract maybe zombie bees or something. I don't know. It's stupid. But the point is, he's never going to attract anyone. And I don't know why it just hit me. But to claim loss when there are people out there, to claim you've gone through worse than anyone has ever imagined, and the first thing you bring up is a fake relationship with someone, there's a real problem, Chance. When Sally dies, you're done. Dude, you are done. You've never experienced any real loss where there's a hole in your life, where your heart hardens. You have no soul for a while. You have to push all that sadness and sorrow to the side to be strong for your family because they were devastated. You will never know what that feels like. And when Sally dies, I don't know if you'll care, other than the fact that maybe Ed won't pay for the internet, or maybe Ed won't bring you your Hot Pockets, or every once in a while get you a cup, an ice cream cone or something. I don't know what she does. Whatever goblins like to eat. But you won't appreciate it unless you're not getting something. And that goes back to, you've never had anyone. You only want things. You want physical gratification more than emotional. And trust me when I say, I'll be coming after every one of you. And trust me when I say, Chancey Poo, and I wish you could hear this, emotional gratification is much more fulfilling than physical, because that goes away. That sensation fades away. But when you have people around you who are supporting you and showing you love, and they're meeting your emotional needs, dude, that's long term. But unfortunately, you'll never know. The only emotions you know are rage, sadness, fear, and it's because you don't know how. As you tell everyone else, they don't know how to love. You've never been loved. Chance, you've never been loved. I think Sally doesn't love you. I think she feels responsibility for you. And there's a big difference. A big difference. It's a Friday night. Cyrax has pissed me off. I wanted to make a rant video. I'm just cannot believe we're here again where he's talking about how his life is 100 times harder than anybody else. Cyrax, your life would have been fine if you'd have turned off the internet, gone out and got a job, tried to integrate into society, make real friends, and stop lying to yourself and stop ruining your grandmother's life. Let her have some peace, you little goblin. Anyway, that's my Friday night rant. Fuck Cyrax. I'll see you guys in the next one.
It doesn't make sense to me, dude. Different, don't get bad. High difference on my winning. Show the gun outside swinging. Yeah, I got knife vision. Don't my family, all my brothers.